Hey guys, welcome to Cooking with Class. My name is Chef Gooch. It's our first episode of this new school year. We're going to be cooking today some back to school healthy snacks and lunches. With me I've got two of my fourth year students.
Hi, my name is Marcus Gonzalez. I'm a senior at Monterey and I work with Salt by Angie.
And where else do you work?
Market Street.
Market Street and Salt by Angie. And this is?
I'm Rosa Sharon. I'm a senior at Coronado. I've done, most of what I do is competitions for FCCLA, and I'm going to do skills this year.
Awesome. So we're going to be making a really fun nutrient-dense salad that's really healthy. And this is something you can kind of meal prep. And it works as either a salad or a dip. It's a really versatile dish. It's kind of a play on another classic Texan or Southwestern dish called Cowboy Caviar. But we'll get into that in a minute. The first thing we're going to do is make some homemade protein bars. So these are really fun. All you need is 2 cups of rolled oats. Go ahead and put those into the mixer. And then 2 cups of peanut butter. You can throw that in as well. And then right here I've got about 1/2 cup to 3/4 of a cup of honey. And then we're going to add to this some fun little mix-ins. We've got dried cherries and some dark chocolate. So go ahead, Marcus, if you'll cut up the dark chocolate. And when Rosa Sharon is done, she can cut up those cherries. And we're just going to mix this all together. And then I'll season it with a little bit of salt. So cut up those cherries and just a real rough chop. It doesn't have to be a specific size or anything. Even the whole cherries is probably fine. What I love about these protein bars, also very versatile, and they're gonna last for a long time. You can use any nut butter that you want, almond butter, peanut butter. We've got some all natural peanut butter that didn't have any sugar in it. And then dried fruit, nuts, or chocolate all go great as a mix-in. And if you really want to up your protein, you could add your own protein powder in there as well. And once we get these mix-ins, we're just going to mix this and then check for the consistency. You might have to add a little more oatmeal or a little more honey, depending on how dry or how wet it is. Once we get that done, we're going to set it on this cookie sheet in between a big sheet of parchment. And then fold that over and we're just gonna flatten it out and then chill this in the fridge overnight or in the freezer for about 30 minutes. That looks pretty good, Marcus. You can probably, a couple of big chunks, but that's good. Honestly, that's great. Get it all in there. Beautiful. Yeah, just walk it over there. Take the knife with you, scrape it all in. Okay, go ahead and raise that bowl up. And then you're gonna start on real slow speed. Yeah, go ahead. It only takes about 1 to 2 minutes. And nothing's flying everywhere, so we can crank the speed up just a little bit. If you go too fast, you can hurt the motor of your mixer. You can also do this by hand in just a really big bowl. Let's add a little bit of salt. It's about a tablespoon. All right, it's really thick, so it's kind of struggling a little bit to mix it. So that means it's kind of all mixed together. We didn't even have to stop and really scrape this. It really just kind of brought it all together. Rosa Sharon, will you help lower the bowl? We'll get it over here. Yeah, let's get that off. There we go. And so, yeah, let me use that spatula. What we want to do, if you have some gloves, you can use gloves, but I think we'll be all right. We're just going to plop this down. And that consistency looks really good. It's not too sticky. It's not dry and crumbly. So really, really fast. Let's feel it. Yeah, that's nice. That's perfect. So now what we're gonna do, okay. make that into a nice thick square or a rectangle about 1/2 inch thick. Either one of you, go ahead. So roll it out. You know what you could do also is we could take off the tray, it might be easier, and then just put it back on the tray to pop it into the freezer. And so one thing you can do, you know, it's not going to be a perfect square, that's fine, but you could come in here and cut some pieces off and just kind of do a little patchwork, fix it. Go ahead. Get one big roll. I'm going to actually trim it now and start making it into that rectangular shape. I'm just going to just cut along like that. We can just move it down here. And we'll do the same thing on this side. Let's try and get that fixed, Marcus. That looks pretty good. Roll that out, and that should be fine. It's not too sticky. This is going to be perfect. So that's kind of what we're going for. We're going to pop this in the freezer for 30 minutes. At home, you could just leave it in the fridge overnight. And then we'll come back. We'll cut it into some little protein bars. You can pop them in a storage bag or container and keep it refrigerated and snack on them when you need a good, healthy protein snack. All right. You could, yeah, that's a great idea. You could, if you wanted more, you could do some melted chocolate and let it refrigerate on the top of the bars. Trying to keep the sugar content a little low to call it a healthy snack, but that's a good idea. All right, will you pop that in the freezer? Thank you. All right, our protein bars are refrigerating, so let's get started on the Cowboy Caviar salad or dip, whatever you want to turn it into. I'll show you a couple of ways. First thing about Cowboy Caviar, it's a lot of local ingredients, and right now we've got Hatch peppers are in season. You could also just use like one jalapeno. I went for one hot and one mild Hatch chili. We've got some cilantro, garlic, green onion, a lot of tomatoes, some bell peppers, yeah, all the colors, a red onion, corn also in season. It's the end of summer, so the corn is really, really nice. We're not even going to cook this or do anything to it, just raw, fresh corn. It's going to be really sweet and good in this salad. And then the basis for the salad are beans. So we've got 2 cans of black beans, 2 cans of black-eyed peas. If you wanted to, you could cook these from scratch yourself. We're going with canned. And then, yeah, Rosa Sharon is looking at the ingredients for the salad dressing. We're gonna make a red wine vinaigrette. Really, really simple. We're just gonna blend that together. So to get started, I'm gonna have Rosa Sharon, will you go drain and rinse these beans off? We don't want all that bean juice. Yeah, just go to one of the prep sinks and then you can drain them and then dump the beans, strain them, dump the beans into here, okay? Thank you. She forgot the beans. All right, while she's doing that, Marcus is going to cut up these tomatoes. And I wanna show you a really fun way to cut these tomatoes, because if you get too much of that juice on the inside, it can kind of ruin the dish. Or after a day or two of this sitting in your fridge, there's all this liquid at the bottom, and we don't want that. So what we're gonna do, you need a really sharp knife. If you don't have a sharp knife, a serrated knife will work. We're gonna cut right here, cut that right off, okay? We're gonna turn our tomato up and we're gonna cut around and cut, we just want that flesh on the outside. We don't want that juicy part in the middle. So kind of go around at an angle like that, okay? And then you can kind of see where the flesh is. So we're gonna go around. Okay? So all this, all the seeds and all that, we can still cook with it. You can eat it. You can do whatever you want. I might just throw some salt on it and eat it. Then with the flesh on the outside, the firmer part of the tomato, again, you got to have a sharp knife. Let's just do a small dice. So just 1/4 of an inch, okay? And then it's a lot of tomatoes, all right? So just like that, real simple, right? Can you do that? Yeah, I thought so. It's all right. Okay, I'm gonna eat one of these tomatoes while you work on that.
People like ketchup, but they don't like tomatoes. So tomato.
You can just go straight into our bowl with everything we cut up. Stay clean. All right, while Marcus works on the tomatoes, Rosa Sharon is going to work on these bell peppers. Again, really simple way to cut them. I think you know how to do it, but we're just going to cut off the sides. And then same thing. You got to have a sharp knife to go through that outside skin. If your knife isn't sharp enough, you can flip it over, but it's a little wobbly, and it's easier to cut this way. All right, so we're about done with the bell peppers and the tomatoes. I'm gonna have Rosa Sharon start working on the hatch green chilies. Kind of similar. You can, no seeds. No, we just want the flesh because that's gonna taste great. You can cut it in half and then kind of trim it the same way because you might mess up, and they're kind of weirdly shaped. So cutting it in half to get started and then kind of cutting down the sides will still help you get rid of those ribs. There we go, that one just fell out. That's perfect. Yeah, just like that. If you do have some of those ribs, it's really easy to just kind of fillet them out. Okay, just like that. No seeds, we don't want those. It's just a textural thing. It's not about not getting the heat or anything. If you want it to be hotter or spicier, use a different chili or use more of that chili. So yeah, so we'll do that, and then you can do this. Now the top, because it was curved, you can do the same thing. And we avoid all those seeds. I'll let you finish that. So she's gonna cut up that. Mark's got all the tomatoes done. Let's go ahead and do a whole red onion, also small dice. You good on that?
Show me.
Yeah. So just a reminder, we're gonna cut off both the root and the top. And to get a good small dice, cut it in half, makes it really easy to peel. And then I'm gonna go horizontal, then cut here, and then we'll slice it. And you don't have to get the whole thing. We can use the butts and put it into some chicken stock we're making later. There you go, just like that. While the two of them work on those, I'm gonna go ahead and do some garlic. It's up to you how much garlic you put in there. I only like 1 or 2 cloves. You can use a garlic press, you can use a knife. I'm just gonna use a little microplane and just shave some of that garlic, grate it really right into our Texas or Cowboy Caviar. That's good. Just gotta watch your fingers and don't grate your fingers. That last little bit.
Green sauce.
Yeah, go ahead, get those in there. Whole onion, all those chilies. Okay. She's gonna keep working on the last of the chilies. I'll get Marcus on the cilantro. Let's go ahead. We don't have to go through and just pick every single piece off, but try and, let's just let's start about right there and get all that really finely chopped up, really fine. I'll get this corn started. She's about ready for it. You can soak it and that'll help get rid of some of the corn strings that are in there. But again, I don't like it roasted for this application. Just nice and raw. It'll be really sweet. It's gonna add a really nice texture as well. Yeah, I could have soaked it a little longer and got some of these, more of these strings off, but this is fine. Yeah, keep going. So if you've ever had Cowboy Caviar before, it's commonly served as a dip, and I've got some chips, and I'll show you what that looks like in just a sec. But it also is a really nutrient-dense salad, and so that's why we're gonna make this vinaigrette in just a minute. And then to add some more protein to it and really make it into a meal, we've got some chicken breast and some skirt steak that we're gonna season up with fajita seasoning and grill it. I'll show you how to slice that, how to butterfly the chicken, and then slice it once it's been grilled. And then that will, you can use that as a topper, and that turns it into more of a salad than just a dip for chips. Yeah, so I would cut the bottom off.
Oh my God.
Yeah, be really careful because you're pushing down really hard with a sharp knife. You got it? You're good. Now it'll stand up. And then we can, just like we were doing with the tomatoes earlier, get all that corn off of there. It's kind of messy. It's going to be real juicy and flying everywhere. Yeah. It's all right. Beautiful.
Sorry.
Just splattered me with corn.
I'm so sorry.
I'll be all right.
My bad.
No, that's great. Keep going. You can adjust. You can go up and down on any of these ingredients, however you choose. You can adjust the salad dressing as well. We've got a lot of sweet summer vegetables, so that's why we're going to do a vinaigrette, because it's nice and tangy. And that will just really help to counter all that sweetness. But this ends up being like sweet, it's tangy, it's creamy from the beans. It's a really good all-around meal or snack. That looks great, yeah, that's the perfect size. Really, really minced, really, really small. Like that right there is what we were looking for. Oh yeah. Last thing we need is some green onion in there, Marcus. So if you want to get started on that, and then I'll get some of the equipment ready. And when Rosa Sharon is done with the corn, we'll start on the salad dressing. Let's do them, you know what, just to make them pretty, yeah, do them at an angle. So when we say cut it on a bias, a cutting board really helps. Get your angle, like 45-degree angle right there. And then you can, and just take it all the way down. Then you have like a nice little angle. It's just a little bit prettier in the salad. Perfect. Let me grab the stuff to make a salad dressing. All right, we're finishing up all the vegetables for the salad, for the Cowboy Caviar. We're gonna make a real quick vinaigrette. Normally when I do a vinaigrette, if it's for a salad, there might be some other ingredients. There might be some sugar or something to sweeten it. We have so many sweet veggies in here, we don't have to worry about that. So we're mostly gonna be using some vegetable or canola oil and the red wine vinegar, a little bit of olive oil for flavor, salt and pepper, and that is really it. Because we already have garlic in here and onion, you don't have to worry about putting those in here. This is done really simply with an immersion blender and a tall, narrow cup. You hold that. But if you don't have that, a blender works as well, especially that has like the removable hole in the lid where you can add slowly. So we want to emulsify this dressing, cause the water and the oil molecules to kind of bind. And so to do that, we're going to just start really slow. You know what, one ingredient I forgot is a little bit of mustard. Will you grab some Dijon mustard out of the fridge? It's the last thing we need. Yeah, it's just in a little squirt bottle. Mustard has a emulsifier in it, and that's going to help bind these two so they stay stuck together and it doesn't separate later on. It's going to take about half a cup of vinegar. No, that's more like 1/4 of a cup. Yeah, let's say 1/4 of a cup. And then we're going to blend this with about a teaspoon of the Dijon, and then just slowly add oil to about 2 cups total. All right, so we're gonna get started on this vinaigrette. I've got about 1/4 to 1/3 of a cup of the red wine vinegar. We're gonna do about a teaspoon or so of Dijon mustard in there to get started. It might be 2 teaspoons. Go ahead and start blending on high speed. So start off, we'll add about half a cup of olive oil. And that's just gonna help provide some flavor, but if you do all olive oil, sometimes it's just too strong. And then now we're just gonna drizzle in some oil until we hit about 1.5 cups, 2 cups. And then you can move the blender kind of up and down. Yeah, make sure we're getting it all. First, you splattered me with corn, now salad dressing. Okay. No, that's good, stop right there. We're gonna give this a taste and see. It's very emulsified. It's looking really good. We can tell it's emulsified because it's kind of sticking to the spoon. No, it's still a little separated. That's okay. We can fix it. We'll just keep going. Let's add some salt and some pepper. Blend that back up really quick.
High?
Yeah, just high speed. And one thing you can do is just give it a little tilt to other directions. All right, that's good. Let's give that a taste really quick. Check the seasoning, see if it's too acidic or if it needs more acid. It's pretty tart. I'm gonna add a little bit more olive oil. Probably bring it up to about 12 ounces. Go ahead. That's good. All right, one last taste. It really came together now. It's really looking good. It's great. It is pretty pungent because there's no sweetener in there. So sometimes I would add like a little bit of honey to kind of counteract that tartness, but so many sweet summer vegetables in here, I think it's gonna work perfectly. It's kind of up to your taste. Let's get clean while I get him started on the chicken, and then we'll come back and we'll all head over to the grill. Right here, Marcus has some chicken breast. We're also gonna get some skirt steak. These chicken breasts take forever to grill when they're this thick, okay? So what we wanna do, give ourselves a little bit of space here. We're going to butterfly these. And so if you look at the shape of the breast, this part that was on the outside, so they would have gone together. It doesn't really matter. But we're just gonna cut almost all the way through and then stop and fold it over. It's gonna cut it, make it much more thinner and let it cook a lot faster on the grill. So we got a roaring hot grill over there. I like to pull my cutting board to the edge and try and keep your knife parallel with your cutting board, not perpendicular. That's what we want to avoid. So open that up. Let's go a little bit more. There we go. Just like that. Yeah, if you'll rinse that one off and bring it back. So Marcus, go ahead and get those cut. I'm gonna wash this chicken off my hands. And I've just got some fajita seasoning blend for our skirt steak. And for the chicken. So we're gonna pop over. We've got a really hot grill. Rosa Sharon's about to hit it with some pan spray so it'll stay nice and non-stick. And we're gonna slap these down. Let's go. All right, Marcus. Let's bring that chicken over. We're gonna slap it down right here. So go ahead. I'll use my clean hands to get started. I gotta go wash them in a second anyways. Slap these down. And then we're gonna let that sit until it doesn't really stick anymore and it just kind of naturally releases. We'll turn them, get some really nice grill marks, probably 4 to 6 minutes per side, flip it over. I'll go grab a thermometer. We wanna cook chicken to 165 degrees. So I'm gonna pull these around 160 and then we'll cover them in foil, just a little tint, and they should carry over, cook the rest of the way to 165. All right, Rosa Sharon's gonna bring over that skirt steak. So my chicken hand, this will be my beef hand. Same thing, we're gonna slap this one down. And then 4 or 5 minutes, we can turn it, flip it over. Steak, for safety, we only want it only has to get up to about 145 degrees, so we'll pull it around 140. Do the same thing, we'll tint it, let it rest, and then we'll slice it and finish our salad. So you can see this is already going really fast and it's not sticking. So that means that it's cooked quite a bit on that side. Oh, beautiful grill marks, right? So we can turn that one. Yeah, these are looking great. Okay, give me my my beef tongs. Okay, same thing. Oh yeah, it picked up really easily. Just turn that one over. That other side, I think it was a little colder on the bottom. Scoot that over. All right, so we've got our skirt steak, we've got some chicken breast ready to get sliced. Let's go ahead and add about half of that vinaigrette, give this a toss. Yeah, just a good amount, swirl it around, there you go, that's good. Give that a quick toss. See if we need to use all of it or not. Do what?
I feel like we do.
Yeah, I think it needs all of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go ahead. A big issue with skirt steak is when we're cutting it up into slices, like for fajitas or to serve on the top of this salad. What a lot of people do is they will just start cutting. And you're cutting with the grain of the meat, and that actually makes it a little more chewy. And so to get the tenderest cut of meat, what we want to do is cut the other direction. If you look close right here, you can see that the grains are running this way, right? Do you see that?
Yeah.
And so what we want to do is we want small little strips. So we're going to cut it about right here. And then we're going to turn and we're going to cut it this direction. And that's going to make for the most, oh, look how tender that is. So this makes a really good dip. We've got some chips right there. You can serve it up with some chips. And then the other way, if you wanted to do this for like a salad, I mean, you could just eat this whole thing, right? Just add a little protein to it and turn it into a really nutrient-dense salad. You have that salad, please. I'm gonna do some beef on this side, and you can do some chicken. Yeah, just pile it up right there. Oh, keep it nice and all nice and together. Really good job. All right, guys, so there's a couple of really easy ways to kind of meal prep as you're getting ready to go back to school. We got a nice fun snack. You could turn the Cowboy Caviar into a snack or as a full meal. Did you guys have fun?
Yeah.
Good, good, good. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for gorging with Gooch.
This has been a production of the students and staff at Lubbock ISD-TV.